Okay, so the once and the future national political official, I don't know, he's going to be senatorial in the next round, will assess the State of the Nation address of President Duterte. It was more banter than a formal address.
That's why, in my critic of the first SONA, I was saying that the president should not be allowed to read because he's bad at reading, but he's excellent, no, in ad-libs. Extemporaneous. I said that. And it's too lengthy. You know, the same thing that happened the first SONA, he got rid of his speech. And here, he read it from time to time. And it's even worse, he was telling the one managing the teleprompter, forward, down. It doesn't look good. But he was at his element, no, when he was talking and communicating with the people.
Well, the Inquirer, quoting the opposition, said he rambled and he bullied. Did he rumble and did he bully?
No, that's rambling. That's true. But that's natural with him. That's expected. The problem
That's called the bully pulpit. So.
That's the problem with the opposition. They have no one who can bully the president. That's their problem. That's their problem because the only way to tackle the president, if they really want to have an opposition, is to do it on the same level. Walang communicator dyan eh. Tingnan mo kung sinong communicator dyan. Si Dick, hindi naman kasama sa opposition.
Hindi opposition si Dick.
Kasama ng president yan. Lacson, hindi. Maybe they are opposed, but they are not opposition. Meaning, cigarette stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was watching the audience. The reaction to the extemporaneous speech of the president was overwhelming.
Yes, very lively.
Inside and outside, with a great sense of humor. That's the way to communicate with people.
In the TV studio, I went out to observe the staff, and they all gathered around the television, reacting with laughter, reacting with empathy, with the ad-libs of the president.
I was pasted in television. The only thing is the president should listen to the people, listen to critics like you and me, because we are not opposition. We are critics. We are not enemies. We are critics. We are giving ideas that could help this country move forward. We agree on many of the fundamentals of his program, but the people around him are not helping him. That's the problem.
Well, some are good, some are bad.
Yes.
You mentioned some who are not really positive factors in his cabinet.
They are not. I could only point to a few positive factors. No?
You mentioned Sonny Dominguez.
One of them is Sonny Dominguez. And he was smiling all the time. No? Sonny Dominguez. And then the other one is Lorenzana. He's silent. Silent, but he has intelligent trust, no?
Yes.
In the implementation of
I thought from the very beginning, Lorenzana was too much of an American boy. But maybe he has been balancing it pretty well since that time.
He has done a reorientation, and these people should do a reorientation. The main problem with them, they have been with the president for a year, and they haven't learned. If there is a mistake, they point to the president as the source of the mistake. In a presidential system, the mistakes are made by cabinet ministers, and the president reaps the glory. The president cannot commit mistakes. The mistakes are only committed by members of the cabinet. He should get those types of
people. I think it's about time we learned the Duterte SONA will always be divided into the ad-lib and to the formal statement. And with the formal statement, which normally should be the highlight, becoming secondary.
Because, to begin with, Minto, the speech is badly written. It's too lengthy. It's too lengthy and full of cliches that do not produce the desired impact. But Duterte reads his crowd well. He's a great communicator. And sinasabi ko nga ng my son, Erwin, you know, this is a waste. Because this man can become a great president. Listening to him, he can become a great president. But he cannot, as he said it, he cannot do it alone. The first step is reinvent the cabinet. And it can, there's so many people here who are willing to help. People who don't need jobs. People who are independent-minded who will be able to help him.
Yes, well, I hope he picks up that gem from what you're saying. And so far, He has reacted negatively to some of the critics like Kitata. He has opened the
Dr. Kitata.
Dr. Kitata and some of the understandably some of the pro-American media such as Rappler and so on.
Yeah.
But he hasn't reacted to you directly.
Yes,
not directly,
because
except through some other
through
channels.
He knows me. I think, even from a distance. We haven't met each other personally. The only time I saw him was Ruben Canoy and I went to the house of his father.
When was this? A long time ago?
No, long time. During the campaign for Mindanao Alliance. This was
okay. That's 20 years, 30 years ago.
Yeah, 1979. We went there. And there was a man sitting on a chair, crossing his legs, in shorts. And I asked Ruben, who is that guy? I see the son of Governor Duterte. What was his name? Rodrigo. Because, Duterte, because of the ROAS. The ROAS are famous in Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah.
Whether it's Cagayan de Oro, they are one of the top families there. Balingasag, the biggest town in Misamis Oriental. That's also ROA country. So we are quite familiar with the president. There is a link.
Well, going back to this dichotomy between the formal statements during the SONA, which should be highlighted because that is the definition of the plans of the government for the year to come, an assessment of what has passed. But I suppose we can do that post-SONA, and I think he outlined them: taxes, corruption, foreign policy, and so on.
Yes.
But his ad-libs seem to carry more weight, such as his mention of the Balanginga and whether it is going to be a formal demand or not. We still don't know, but he demanded the Balanginga wells to be brought back to the Philippines.
They should have been brought back a long time ago.
That is a very powerful statement from the president.
I agree because even long before he said it, I am one of those who demanded for the return of Balanginga. Otherwise, the Americans will have a very bad impression all over the world.
What does it mean that the Americans continue to hold it? Because I think Fidel Ramos started the initiative to request its return. This was followed up by Gloria Arroyo. It is only Duterte who has done this so frontally. And I saw to the discomfiture of the American ambassador.
Hey, they really should return it. Otherwise, the impression of many people is that the American government is a thief.
Yeah, it certainly is. Its history is one of thievery.
And it's a bad impression for America, especially now that the American influence all over the world for the spread of democracy has waned. I think the torch has been passed to Europe. Incidentally, it's a woman.
You're talking about Angela Merkel.
And with the help of Macron, the newly elected President of France. They are the people who are carrying the banners of democracy, the light of democracy, and the promotion of the democratic system all over the world. The America has faded out because of Trump.
And of course, in contrast, Duterte thanked the Chinese ambassador for the 2 new bridges that are grants from China and so on. I suppose this continues to be the pursuance of the independent foreign policy, but at the same time, he made a very clear declaration that there will come a time where we will have to deal with the West Philippine Sea issue.
Yeah, of course.
So, what are your reactions to these other sensitive matters?
Well, the problem here is there is a Davawinho in the Supreme Court who maintains a contra-review because he was the one who won the case in the UN.
You're talking about Carpio?
Carpio, yeah.
Is he a Davawinho?
Yeah, he's a Davawinho.
I didn't know.
He's a Davawinho because the justice, Justice Morales, ombudsman, she's a Davawinho by affinity. Yes. Okay. And he should have a conversation with him and not have a frontal
Yeah, but
confrontation.
what's the role of the Justice of the Supreme Court, Associate Justice, in these issues? He should be quiet about these things.
No, he was the one representing the Philippines in the UN Arbitral Tribunal. He was the one who carried the ball.
But I think it was an American who headed the
No,
legal panel.
they had a legal panel.
Yeah.
But Carpio was the head of the delegation that went to the UN Arbitral Tribunal. That's why he has a personal link in the sensitive issue. He just listen. He does not have to adapt the point of view of Carpio. But he should talk. Lo cortés no quita lo valiente.
Can you translate that for us?
Cortesy does not make you any less valiant. Hindi, pag-usapan natin kasi pag ang politika is a fight on the level of the heart, it degenerates to violence. Take a look at what's happening now in the House. No? Fariñas has something to settle with the Marcoses, and it's having bad repercussions. Not only in the House of Representatives, but all over the country. The politics should be politics of conversation. You can communicate effectively because my point, Mintong, even before I was here, is politics ends after the elections. In my case, they were mentioning, trouble with you, Bono, the opposition. You attend the conferences in Malacanang. Why? I got elected as governor. Marcos is president. You mean to say my province will not be represented simply because we belong to different political parties? After the elections are over, we should work together for the country. If the president says something bad, criticize him. If it's good, cooperate with him. That's good for the country.
So overall, beyond the SONA, what's your assessment of Duterte's performance to this date? You can pick some particulars, such as a drugs issue. Of course, you say he cannot meet his own deadline. I say the deadline has always been hyperbolic anyway, but he is accomplishing some things there.
I'll say. From the policy point of view, I grade the president 90%.
So that's a very, very high
from
mark.
The policy point of view.
Policy,
But from the performance point of view, not his performance, the performance of his people below 75, maybe about 60. That's why it's here where he should reinvent, because I'm reading this book by the American Heritage on JFK, on RFK.
RFK,
his
Robert
life,
F. Kennedy.
His life and times. He said, the president is only one person, but the presidency is a myriad of persons, includes the cabinet. The presidency is okay. The president is okay, but the presidency is in bad shape. He should do something about that bad shape in there.
I think that is a very positive critique from you. I think the president should pick it up, or the people around him should call his attention and replay this segment.
I think I agree with you. I agree with you. Both of us are here.
Yeah. Well, while you mentioned the American presidency. So, how's Trump to you?
At the beginning, I was for Trump during the election.
Well, I called him the better evil.
Oh, yeah.
Since the other side, Hillary, is also evil.
The Trump, from the domestic standpoint, I think he's doing okay. But the international influence of America has been badly reduced.
But I think Trump, precisely, Trump wants to bring America back to itself for a soul searching and for a redirection. And it's a natural consequence.
Minton, this Trump presidency borrowed two principal ideas from the Philippines.
What are these?
Filipino First Policy, Carlos P. Garcia, 1950s. We had Filipino First Policy. The problem...
But that was reversed by Macapagal.
Implementors later. Okay. Second, make the Philippines great again. That's Ferdinand Marcos. 60s pa yan. Ngayon pa nila ginagawa sa Amerika. These people imitate this country. And we imitate the Americans and do a very bad imitation here. Yan ang mali natin eh. We are originators of brilliant ideas. Implement the brilliant ideas correctly. The president is doing well on the policy level. Yung tauhan niya, something's different.
So let's now finally wrap up this discussion, both your personal plans and President Duterte and the Philippines under his leadership. You rated him 90% in policy direction. So performance is what he has to improve.
He has to improve.
His cabinet has to be improved.
No, the cabinet.
Yeah.
He has to improve his cabinet. It seems to me that the cabinet members are not listening to him. They are not listening to him. Only Jess Doresa formula. You know, Jess Doresa, I met him before the elections. I said, Jess, you tell the president, so you better tell the mayor, so we can support him from Mindanao to discipline his his oral statements. Discipline his mouth. You know what Jess Doresa was telling me? Bono, nobody can tell the president what to do and what to say. Never mind, leave him to do what he to say and do what he must, but we will do what needs to be done. But they are not doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so your final words that will begin a series again of discussions with you on our Talk News TV Politics Today.
Yes. People see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. I dream the same dreams, policy-wise, with President Duterte and ask why not. That's why these people should help him. And another thing is, freedom to differ is not limited to things that do not matter much. That's not my minor. The other one was George Bernard Shaw and Robert Kennedy. The essence of freedom is to differ on things that touch the heart of the existing order. That's what I like about you. Because this program differs on things that touch the heart of the existing order. The president should listen to you. And he said, coming from me now, he should also listen to me in this program.
Okay, thank you very much, Bono. I'm glad to have you back again. The fireworks begin again. And we will have continuous fireworks until
hell freezes over.
Hell freezes over. Okay, thank you very much, po. Have a good weekend.
God bless.